Madhvacharya Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatadeshakare Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasati Gaura Bhaktavranda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So now all the Pandavas have gone to where Bhishma Dev is lying now in the Sharashaya. So why did the Pandavas go there? For what? For any reason? Why the Pandavas have gone where Bhishma Dev is residing?
No, Mataji, because Yudhishthira what grief began, lamenting,
Yes.
and Lord Krishna is
So
taking
Yudhishthira
questions
Maharaj
to
was
his
in
mother.
grief. Why? Why was Yudhishthira Maharaj lamenting?
Mataji, he was lamenting because he felt that he had killed all his brothers and he had killed
Yes.
all his brothers, and the war
Yes.
was not justified in killing during the
Yeah,
bloodshed.
because of that. Okay. So that is the reason why why Yudhishthira Maharaj was lamenting, and Krishna wanted them to go to Bhishma Dev. Why?
Mataji, so that he could receive instructions from Bhishma
Yes.
Deva
Yes.
about ruling, how he is going to rule. And also he wanted that Bhishma Deva should see the Yudhishthira, who had already suffered so much of miseries and conflicts in his life. Now at the last moment, he wanted to see them happy. So that is why Lord Krishna took all Pandavas to
Yes.
Bhishma
So
Pitama.
he wanted to glorify, and also Bhishma Dev's consciousness, no, at the time when he's leaving the body. So just imagine his consciousness. It was so clear.
Yes.
In the sense, he was completely absorbed, and Krishna likes to glorify his devotee, or he wants to prove to others that how a pure devotee's thoughts are when he leaves the body. Yeah, and words of wisdom from Bhishma Dev, like, and Bhishma Dev wanted to see Yudhishthira Maharaj as the king, no? He wanted
Yes.
to see him as the king.
Yeah,
And
enthroned at his feet.
yeah, because they are his favorite grandsons, and he wanted to see Yudhishthira Maharaj on the throne. And Bhishma Dev was uh, on the bed of arrows. He couldn't go there. Yes, Lakshmi Mataji, anything to add?
Yes, Mataji, Bhishma Dev also wanted to speak the Vishnu Sahasranam also, Mataji.
Yeah. So to glorify the Lord. So
Yes.
he was waiting for that. Yes, Bhishma Dev's desire was to Ante Narayana Smriti, to remember Krishna, to see the Parthasarathi form actually, no? So
Yes.
the Parthasarathi form, especially the Parthasarathi form, and also I told the reason, no, the sweating form. Why so much dust and sweat? Why that particular form?
Because
Didn't I
he had
mention?
all the time in the battle, he had seen him in that form only, Mataji.
Yes. So in the battlefield, that means he was working like in the Bhakta Valsala form. Okay. So we have finished Bhishma Dev welcoming everyone at his deathbed, and 12 to 17 about Bhishma Dev pacifying and encouraging the Pandavas. 18 to 24, Bhishma Dev is glorifying Krishna's position as the Supreme Lord. 25 to 28, Bhishma Dev instructs Yudhishthira Maharaj, and 29-31 is Bhishma Dev's final moments. 32 to 43 is where Bhishma Stuti starts. The Bhishma Dev is praying to the Lord. So till then, it's a glorification happening. So you can see in the bed of arrows, Bhishma Dev lies and Krishna comes there, and all the Pandavas. And also you can see Narad Muni, all the great, even demigods comes there, because they also want to see how a pure devotee is leaving the body. And you can see that Yudhishthira Maharaj is also near, and this is what you say. This is uh, how Krishna fulfilled the desire of a pure devotee. A pure devotee like Bhishma Dev wanted to see Krishna and then leave his body, and Krishna is personally there. No, Krishna himself went there. So Krishna fulfills the desire of a pure devotee. Like Prabhupada, when Prabhupada was wanted some temples, Prabhupada just says, "Let there be a temple," something like that. Prabhupada will just go for morning walks in the west, and then he'll see all these churches and all closed. Might be in England or wherever, UK, US, wherever he goes for a walk, he see, and these churches will be like haunted, in the sense they say there is a ghost and something like that. And they close the church, and Prabhupada wanted them because it's haunted. It becomes like very for less amount of money or even free. Prabhupada wanted, that's a big construction center, and then Prabhupada gets it, and he do Harina, mass Harina, and all these evil spirits just go away from there. And that was Prabhupada's desire, and Krishna fulfilled it. No, so Prabhupada, I was hearing Prabhupada's lecture. Prabhupada says, you feel anxious to spend 25 rupees or 250, might be 25,000. No? Suddenly we have to spend, we'll be little anxious. Or might be 25 lakhs if you say. But then ISKCON all over the world is spending crores, and for just for Annadana or just for Prasadam itself, they're spending like lakhs. So in Prabhupada's time, and Prabhupada's time, I have so many centers and so many much money is being spent, but there's no anxiety, 0% anxiety. Why? Because Krishna is maintaining, no? Eko bahunamiyo vitadadikaman. So devotee has so much faith in the Lord. Devotees, in the sense, what you say, they're completely dependent on the Lord. Okay, and Bhishma Dev was completely dependent, and you can see all the Pandavas who are like great devotees of Krishna. They also came to Bhishma Dev to listen from him. So this we finished, that Krishna wants to please his devotee Bhishma Dev at the time of departure. So Lord Krishna along with the Pandavas were present before Bhishma Dev and in the most aristocratic order, so that Bhishma Dev might be pleased to see them happy at the time of his death. Till then, they were like having a lot of issues, but at least at the end, Bhishma Dev wanted to see them happy. And okay, so in the deathbed also, Bhishma Dev was welcoming. So all the acharyas, you can see the religious preachers, reformers in the mission, they're all like that. There will be different situations, but then their final consciousness in the deathbed, no, would be really nice. Yes, Lakshmi Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. I have a doubt. I have a question, Mataji.
Ah.
Mataji, Arjuna had like problems. Was going through confusion, and for that Bhagavad Gita was spoken. But Mataji, when Bhagavad Gita was spoken, why couldn't the Pandavas did not hear it, Mataji? Or, it was only why for Arjuna only, Mataji. And this was like Bhishma Stuti was for all the Pandavas, Mataji.
No, that was just by Arjuna was selected to do the battle. In the sense, among the Pandavas, Arjuna is the eternal associate, or he's Vishaka Saki himself, and he's very, very close to Krishna. And Arjuna was selected to lead the battle. So, because of that, because see, if the main person in the battle, Krishna says that, oh Arjuna, if you run away, whoever follows you will also run away. So Pandavas chose Arjun too because he's been the greatest Kshatriya. So you can see, no, that the arrow, the mission and everything, Arjuna only
Yes,
passed. So he's the
yes.
greatest archer. So he was selected. So he is one who's leading the Pandavas at the time of battlefield. So when he was in lamentation, Krishna wanted to motivate him. In the sense, Krishna gave the advice to Arjuna specifically at that time, just for a pastime purpose.
Okay.
Like there should be a listener. Okay, and here it's
Okay.
actually Yudhishthira Maharaj who needs to listen from Bhishma Dev, because he is the one who's the king now and he is ruling. And but then Pandavas also followed, because this is the power of sadhu sangha. Wherever you
Oh,
feel, you hear there is some Maharaj coming near your house or near your hometown or something, just go and listen to them. They may not be your Diksha Guru, they may not be associated, but they are all Prabhupada's disciples, or they are all coming in the Acharya Parampara. So what we have to do is, when we hear like there's some great Acharya or so, great devotee coming, just go and take the association. Now, sadhu sangha. So you can see Pandavas, all of them went because Bhishma Dev is a great devotee, and they also want to hear. Yudhishthira Maharaj could have gone alone, but then the Pandavas also followed. Okay, so now in the 12 to 13, we saw Bhishma Dev is expressing a deep grief for the undeserving and unlimited injustice done to the Pandavas, and Bhishma Dev recollect all the pious and religious lives led by the Pandavas, and also how they were the sons of religion personified. And he also remembers the irreversible power of time. Okay, he says that it cannot be reversed. It's not because of their karma, it's just to teach us lessons. How they underwent miseries, and Krishna was always there to protect them. And the analogy used is like clouds that carried away by wind. Everyone is affected. Okay, and power of time is irreversible. And Yudhishthira Maharaj, Bhima, there's a great archer Arjuna, along with the Gandiva and the Supreme Lord. They all were there. But then, despite Pandavas having all of them, still these sufferings came to them. So it's inconceivable for us, because how Pandavas suffered so much. They've been very dear to Krishna, but it's just to teach us some lesson. That's it. Not other. They didn't undergo any sufferings as such, because they were internally completely independent on Krishna. A pure devotee is like that, like Prahalad Maharaj. Outside it looks like he have lot of difficulties, but inside he was very peaceful. So Bhishma suggests future plan of action for Yudhishthir and understanding all consequences of the battle as planned by the Lord, even unpalatable. So it's Krishna's will that's happening. Krishna wanted the Pandavas to have an association of Bhishma. Okay, so we can see Parikshit Maharaj also have undergone great tribulation to fulfill the will or mission of the Lord. What did he do, Parikshit Maharaj?
Bhagavatam.
No, he didn't do anything. He just went and Shukadeva Goswami gave it. No, great tribulations in order to fulfill the mission. He did something. His activities are glorious.
Kali Maharaj?
Yeah. Yeah.
Kali.
Kali.
Kali. Kali
Kali
Purusha.
Purusha was chastised by Parikshit Maharaj. So that is actually a good thing what he did, because he didn't want Kali Purusha to come and rule in his kingdom. So he underwent, means he took that risk of punishing the Kali Purusha. Prahalad Maharaj, as you all know, no, all the sufferings he suffered just to fulfill the mission. In the sense, he used to preach during his Gurukul days also. Yes, so Mangala Mataji Harishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams Mataji, and he took the curse Mataji positively as the will of the Lord.
Yeah, the curse
When,
also is the will of the Lord. Yes, yeah, to fulfill the will of the Lord. Yes, that happened. Okay, and Kunti Devis and the Pandavas, as we know, yes, even Bhagavad Gita came, and then all this problems which they suffered. It's just to teach the whole world some lessons. Bali Maharaj, yes, he rejected his own spiritual master to show us that even a guru should not stop us from going to Krishna. And Prithu Maharaj, he stopped the Ashwamedha Yajna sacrifice. Otherwise, he could have become Indra. But then Narad Muni came and stopped him. Janmejaya was stopping the snake sacrifice. Now all these devotees, they are devotees and they want to keep Krishna's words true. In the sense, they wanted to uh, go according to the will of the Lord. Okay, Parikshit Maharaj could have counter cursed. No, he was very powerful. He could have counter cursed Shrinki, but he just accepted the curse, because as Lakshmi Mataji said, yes, Bhagavatam could have come. So because that glorious Bhagavatam can come, but Parikshit Maharaj was not knowing that, oh, in future Bhagavatam might come. No, he was not knowing at that time. And he never asked the Lord also, why this curse came to me. Nothing. He didn't. He just accepted it as the will of the Lord. So pure devotees are like that. They just accept it as the will of the Lord. So 18 to 24, we can see Bhishma Dev is glorifying Krishna's position as the Supreme Lord. Okay, so in the previous sloka we saw that Bhishma Dev is praying that Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Esha Vai Bhagavan Sakshat Atyo Narayana Puman Mohayan Maya Lokam Buddhas Sharadi Vrishnishu. So Krishna is no other than the inconceivable original personality of Godhead, and he's the first Narayan, the supreme enjoyer. But he is moving amongst the descendant of King of Vrishni, just like one of us, and he's bewildering us with his self-created energy. So what is that self-created energy? Self-created energy. What is that? What is Krishna's self?
Yog Maya?
Maya, yeah. It can be Mahamaya or Yoga Maya. It is all self-created by Krishna. So
Yes,
I was reading Prabhupada's books today. In Bhagavatam itself, Prabhupada says, this Maya is Krishna's energy. That we know. Devi Shesha Gunamaya, Mama Maya. Now, Maya is torturing us, no? This Mahamaya's business is to make the soul forget Krishna, on the sense to do sense gratification and enjoyment, and live like that for sense enjoyment. So that's done by Mahamaya. Now, when she is the agent of Krishna, so that means when she is doing something, indirectly it is done by Krishna only. Why is Krishna doing that? Maya is under Krishna, and whatever Maya is doing is indirectly done by Krishna. Why is Krishna making a soul forget him and fall into birth, death, old age, disease, and suffer?
Purification.
To
Huh?
test us, to test us,
We want to enjoy.
To test us how determined
Yeah,
we
we
are
want
to
to.
go to him.
Okay.
So that
Okay.
ultimately we want to go back to him.
we
Mataji.
want to surrender to Krishna
Yeah,
Mataji.
How many?
What Neeraja Mataji and all are saying is, for a devotee, Maya is doing this so that Krishna is testing us. No, I'm asking a non-devotee, somebody who's not even religious. They're just, why is Krishna making them? Yes, Kanjan Mataji.
Mataji, because we have desire to enjoy our senses and accept. We don't want to accept Krishna's authority, so we
Yeah.
want to enjoy
Because
secular.
we want to enjoy this, or we have a desire to enjoy this material world. It is said when a soul desire to enjoy the material world, Krishna gives them chance so that you forget Krishna and completely enjoy your senses. Krishna makes the arrangement. Like for example, if a devotee wants to do service, if a devotee wants to chant and hear and live in the association of devotees, Krishna fulfills that. Oh, this person or this soul is remembering me after so many janmas, and I'm arranging everything for that particular soul. So Krishna will give you all the opportunity to do service. But as somebody who don't want to do devotion, or somebody who just want to enjoy the senses, then what will happen? Krishna will give that facility so that all material enjoyment will come and sense gratification can be done. So Krishna is giving you the facility based on your desire, what desire you have. So that's important. So when you have desire, that is kama, and if it's not fulfilled, what will happen?
Krodha.
It becomes
Krodha.
krodha.
Anger.
Krodha.
Krodha. So if kama is not fulfilled, it will become krodha. And if kama is fulfilled, it will become
Moha.
Greed,
Moha.
Mataji.
Moha.
Greed.
loba,
It becomes
loba,
lust.
greed,
Greed,
greed. Loba, okay, greed. That is, if kama or desire is fulfilled, then it becomes loba, in the sense again and greed, more, they want more. If kama is not fulfilled, desire is not fulfilled, you become krodha, you become anger and frustrated. So just imagine, both are wrong, no? Both are dangerous. The krodha is also dangerous, and if kama is fulfilled, again, because kama is for what? Sense gratification. Kama you don't say for Krishna. Anything related to Krishna is prema, not kama. That will give us more happiness and more satisfaction. But kama, if you mean, it's material, and if it's fulfilled, anything material fulfilled, it will lead to lobha. Oh, I want more. Lust and greed will come. So both are dangerous. So what should we have is Krishna prema. So Bhishma Dev is glorifying Krishna as the original Narayana. Who else glorified like this in the first sloka itself?
Kunti Maharani.
Kunti Maharani, you learned, no? Namasye Purusham to Adyam. Who knows the sloka? Namasye
Namaste Purusham Ishwaram Purusham Param Alaksham Drisha Nato Natyadharo Yata Hare Krishna.
you are mixing up slokas.
नमस्ते पुरुषोत्तम ईश्वरं प्रकृते परम अलक्षं सर्वभूतानां अंतर्बहिरवस्थितम्.
Yeah, antarbahiravastitam. So she's saying that Namasye Purusham to Adyam Ishware Prakrite Param Alakshyam Sarvabhutanam Antarbahiravastitam. So Kunti Maharani in the first sloka itself, Kunti Vacha 1.8.18, now she says, Krishna, you are the first Supreme Personality of God, or the Purusham to Adyam. Here also Bhishma Dev is glorifying, saying that Krishna, your original Narayan. We didn't start Bhishma Dev yet, but still he is glorifying the Lord now itself, and he's saying he's inconceivable. Krishna is inconceivable. Why? He is a Supreme Lord, but he is one of us. He's just walking among us, no? And he is understood only by Mahajans. And because Bhishma Dev is also one of the Mahajan, he could understand. And also 12 Mahajans. Swayambhu, Narada, Shambhu, Kumara, Kapilo, Manu, Prahlada, Janaka, Bhishma, Bali, Vyasagir, Ayam. All of them can understand Krishna completely because they are pure devotees. Only pure devotees can understand Krishna. And also it is said that Krishna is our friend, he is a well-wisher, counselor, messenger. Which is that Bhagavad Gita sloka which says Krishna is our well-wisher and friend?
Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam
Ah,
Sarveshwaram.
what is the beginning? Bhoktaram Etnatapasam.
Sarvam Nityatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram
Suhridam.
Suhridam Sarvabhutanam Nyatva Mam Shantim
Yeah, so it's the
Richati.
peace formula, no? The Shanti formula. It says, Suhritam Sarva Bhutanam. Krishna is our only well-wisher. No, all of you agree, no? Krishna is the only well-wisher. And Prabhupada also signs like that. Your well-wisher ever, or your always well-wisher, something like that. So Prabhupada is also a well-wisher because it is said, no? After so many janmas, you get to know Krishna. What is the sloka? After so many janmas, you can understand Krishna.
Bahunam
Bahunam
janmanam
janmanam.
मां प्रपद्यते वासुदेवं
Vasudeva
सर्वमिति
sarvamiti.
महात्मं सुदुर्लभ
The Mahatma Sudurlabh. It's very rare, no? Bahunam Janma. After so many Janma, we get Krishna. Similarly, Prabhupada says, after so many Janmas only, you will get a bona fide spiritual master. And after so many Janmas only, you will get initiated by that master, spiritual master. So, whoever is initiated in this class, no, I'm not discouraging others, but they are all in the process. But whoever is initiated already, you should understand, after so many Janmas of doing bhakti or some yoga, we don't know what it is, might be some kind of ashtanga yoga or whatever yogic practice we have done something. That's why in this janma we got a bona fide spiritual master, not any fake gurus, or not in a good in a proper sampradaya parampara. We come to a bona fide spiritual master and take initiation under him. It's a continuation from what you have done in previous life. It's not so that means we have not begun here, we have begun so many janmas back, and it's continuing. So, and Prabhupada says it's after so many janmas you get a spiritual master like that. So how fortunate it is, no? And how important it is. Now, if anyone in this class who's not initiated really need Bhakti Vaibhav certificate, plan to take initiation. Now, it will take at least 2-3 years to complete 6 cantos, but by then, at least by then, now you, whatever problems you have, just try to overcome that and take initiation. At least take shelter. Is there anyone who didn't take shelter yet in this class? Shelter, you can all take 16 rounds, 4 regulative principles. That's it. It's just a paperwork sending the shelter form to the office. And then you are like sheltered. And in future, later, we'll see if Krishna willing, initiation can happen. So everyone have taken shelter in this class? Shridhar Mataji, Rekha Mataji, Lakshmi.
No, Mataji.
Why
No,
delay? You can take shelter, no? Supriti Mata, just check with them, and if ask, I'll send you the shelter form. Okay, you take charge. Let them take shelter. In what anything is, you don't have to do anything to take shelter. It's just like the family also won't have any issues. It's just that you are chanting 16 rounds and following the 4 regulative principles. At least you come under the shelter of the Guru. At least by taking shelter, you are actually in, at least if not in this life, next life, the Guru will just come to you. Or in the sense, it's not we are searching the Guru, but at least start that official connection with the parampara. Now we are unofficially connected, but at least officially, it's very important. After so many janmas, we get it. So that's the, if we want to be in that bona fide parampara, we should always think of it. The shelter, anybody is chanting 60 rounds, following 4 regulative principles, at least 6 months, 1 year time. If you're following, you can take 6 months is enough for shelter, and you've been doing it for Bhakti Shastri time now, so you can do. Okay, if anything you can ask me, I'll clear it. So here it is said Krishna is faultless, he has faultless qualities, and Bhakti Yoga reveals him and delivers the devotees. Okay, Sarvatmana Samodrisho hi Advayashana Krita Tatkritam Madi Vaishamyam Niravadyasya na Kvachit. So, being the absolute personality Godhead, he is present in everyone's heart. Krishna is in everyone's heart. Sarvasya Hridhi Vishnu. And he is equally kind to everyone. And he is free from the false ego of differentiation. Therefore, whatever he does is free from material inability and he's equibalanced. Samoham sarva bhuteshu namedeshu nastina priya. So Krishna doesn't like anyone or reject anyone, but ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya maite teshchapiham. But those who are doing bhakti yoga, they are very special to Krishna. And Krishna has faultless qualities in the sense he is not affected by the 3 modes. And he is as Paramatma, super soul present in every one of us. And all this is Bhishma Dev's realization. Just imagine, no? This Bhishma Dev wanted to break Krishna's promise. So this is, and Bhishma's arrows were like that. What on Krishna? Like compared to what?
Flowers.
Rose.
Flower.
Rose.
Yeah, flowers or rose, thrown by a devotee. So it was like that. So just imagine, so Bhishma Dev being a pure devotee, even the arrows were felt by roses for Krishna. So he's saying that even though Krishna have all the qualities, he's kind to everyone. Krishna, what is Krishna's another name? Because he is very kind to everyone.
Bhaktavatsala.
No, that is for devotees. This is for general. For non-devotees also Krishna is kind.
Karuna Sagar.
Yeah, Karuna Sagar. Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu. Dina Bandhu Jagatpade we say, no? So Karuna says Karuna Sagar, or he's the ocean of mercy, Krishna. Kambadayalim Sharanam. When Putana was given the position of the mother, it says, how merciful can somebody be? No? So here it is said that Krishna doesn't become inferior by becoming a driver, a charioteer to his pure devotee. In fact, he becomes so affectionate to the devotee that he's ready to serve the devotees. Krishna is like that. And Bhishma Dev is saying how graciously Krishna has come before him before he ends his life. And he is so grateful to Krishna that at the end, Krishna says, no, aham smarami mat bhakta. If we are not able to remember Krishna, Krishna will remember the devotee. Bhishmadev could not go to Krishna, but Bhishmadev had a desire to see Krishna, and Krishna personally went there. But Krishna personally went and gave darshan to Bhishmadev. So His Holiness Gaur Govinda Maharaj, he had this Gopal deity, and he once he was traveling to the west, so he didn't carry the Gopal. And then what happened? The Gopal was always offered kheer. So when Maharaj was in the west, because he wanted money to build the temple of ISKCON Bhubaneswar, so every day the offering was done by some disciples. So next day, one day there's a Gaur Govinda Maharaj made a call to India saying that what happened yesterday's offering, was there something wrong? So the Pujari is like, we don't know, we'll check. And then Maharaj said one thing. He said, was kheer not offered to Gopal? Then everybody got shocked. How did Maharaj in the West, he was somewhere in the abroad countries, foreign countries preaching, and how did he know that kheer was not offered to Gopal? And then Maharaj said, no, yesterday in my dream, Gopal came and complained to me. So it is said, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam, Krishna, if it's given with love, Krishna accepts. But if a devotee doesn't give, Krishna asks for it. Krishna went and asked Gaur Govinda Maharaj, why kheer was not offered to me, or I wanted kheer and kheer was missing. So just imagine the connection between a pure devotee and his deity. And finally, what happened? Gaur Govinda Maharaj was so attached to Gopal deity. At the end in Mayapur, when he was about to leave the body, he had Gopal in his hand. And looking at Gopal in separation, tears in his eyes, he left the body, or he went into samadhi. Just imagine. So, whichever I told, there was a rich Mataji who actually donated for Radha Shyam Sundar or something, I think, Vrindavan temple, something she donated. So at the end, there was no devotee association, there was nobody, and she was about to leave the body. And she asked someone, can I see some picture of Radha Krishna? Give me some picture. So they went and searched everywhere, there was no picture. Finally, they got an old picture and somebody ran and came and showed her. Just seeing that, she left the body. And later on, after her ceremony, and normally after devotees leave the body, they'll have a great kirtan and chanting and all for the particular soul. So they were doing it, and there was big feast and prasadam and all offered. And the devotees said, they said that your mother passed away by seeing this photo of Radha Shyam Sundar. And you know what the sons and daughters said? They were shocked, and they said, this is exactly the temple where my mother donated for that temple construction. So just imagine, so all of you have done some services or other to Radha Govinda. Definitely Shri Radha Govinda will come and help us some way or the other during our need, whenever we need them, because we are so connected to Radha Govinda. So definitely I really felt that whoever have done a bit of thing, like, see, you need not offer only money, no? This 4 ways we can serve the Lord. What are the 4 ways? One is money, then
Vani Seva.
Vani or Vacha, yes, the words by your preaching.
Physical seva.
Vacha, Diya.
Dhya also, Mataji.
Vacha, Diya, Prana, and Artha. So Prana, Artha, Diya, Vacha. Prana is your life you can give to Krishna. Artha, money. Vacha, words. And the intelligence. So there are many preachers in this class who's giving your words to Krishna, or admins and even preachers, they are using their intelligence to serve. Prana, you come and serve here. And there also the Artha, your money. So these ways you serve Krishna, Krishna will not forget. Others might forget, or might be late, you just get your you get your bill or something, or they give you the receipt and all, but then they forget. And no, it's Krishna never forgets it. So Krishna will definitely remember. And just see how Bhishma Dev, definitely we are not pure devotees like Bhishma Dev, at least something small thing we do, Krishna will definitely remember. And we might forget, but Krishna will definitely remember. And at the end, he'll see that he comes and saves that devotee. Okay, so here it is said that Krishna is addressed as the son of Maharaj Nanda. Okay, or son of Yashoda, lover of Radharani. That's what he likes the most. So Bhishma Dev is conscious of the sweetness, and Krishna is addressed as Vijaya Sake or Partha Sake. Instead of that, he can be addressed as Nanda Nandana or Yashoda Nandana. Krishna loves that more. But Prabhupada says any pastimes of Krishna is transcendental. You can't say Rasa Leela is the highest Leela of Krishna or the Kurukshetra war is the lowest. No, everything is on the transcendental platform. It's very, very sweet, or transcendental sweetness is there to approach Krishna. So Prabhupada says we should have a medium to connect to Krishna. And then Bhishma Dev also says Bhaktyavesha mano yasmin vacha yennama kirtayat Tyajan Kalevaram Yogi Muchyate Kama Karmavi. So personality of Godhead who appears in the mind of a devotee by attentive devotion and meditation and by chanting of the holy name, release the devotee from the bondage of fruitive activities at the time of his quitting the material body. So with somebody who's chanting Krishna's holy name, who's meditating, then what will Krishna do? He will help us to go away from the bondage of fruitive activities, especially at the end. No, that's the art of leaving. In ISKCON, that's very important. No, if you want to know how great a devotee is, just have to see how they left the body. So when they leave the body, what was the situation around? That much, that's the greatness of that devotee. Or Bhishma Dev also says, Krishna, may he wait for me, or Bhishma, at the time of my death. So Bhishma Dev is saying that Krishna, will I see Krishna, or at the end will I see Krishna, or I'm awaiting for that moment that they say Uttarayana, but actually that here it is mentioned here Narayana. When they say, it is actually he's lying on the water or taking shelter. Similarly, Uttarayana is actually taking shelter of Uttara's womb, that is Krishna. So actually he is waiting. Bhishma Dev is waiting for to see Krishna at the time, and he want to see the Partha Sarthi form. Yes, Dinesh Rai Prabhu.
Mataji, Bhishma Dev, after leaving this body, went to one of the Vaikuntha Loka. He didn't go to Krishna Loka
Yes.
or Loka Vrindavana.
No, he didn't go to Goloka because his mood was not of Madhurya Ras or Sakya Ras or Valsalya. Only when these three moods are there, they can go to Goloka. But his mood was to the Partha Sarthi form, no?
Yes, he
So
wanted to see
he went to the Vaikuntha where Krishna is in Partha Sarthi form.
Yeah,
Yes.
Narayan form, in fact.
Yeah, it is mentioned here, Prabhupada says in the purport that he went to that particular Vaikuntha where Krishna is in Partha Sarthi form. Similarly, we all have different form attached, and the bhava which we develop at the time of quitting the body, there is where we go. But it's not different. See, in the Parthasarthi form also it's Krishna. So, and Bhishma Dev is a pure devotee, so that it's not different. But for reaching Goloka, there's a special rasa required as Madhurya Rasa, Valsalya, and Sakya. And Bhishma Dev was not having these rasas. And here he had a desire to see that particular Parthasarthi. So Krishna took Bhishma Dev to that place where Krishna is in Parthasarthi form. So whichever form we are attached to, that's where finally we reach, on the sense. Devotees.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, two-handed form only, no Mataji? Parthasarthi
Yeah,
form.
Parthasarthi is 200. But yeah.
But how Mataji, how come that is in Vaikuntha Mataji?
Yeah, here it is said that in Vaikuntha itself, Parthasarthi form had also 400 form. See, in universal form, when Krishna showed, there was a 400 form, then he came to 200. No. So the expansion had 400. So originally it's 400, but since for a pastime purpose, Krishna comes in 200 form. Because in universal form, we have seen now how it becomes universal form, 4 hand, then 2 hand. So it's not
Mataji,
Arjuna. Yes, Lakshmi Mataji. Lakshmi Mataji is asking whether Arjuna went to Goloka Vaikuntha. Definitely Krishna. Arjuna is Vishaka Saki, so he's in Goloka. No, Vishaka Saki has to be in Goloka. the Ashtasakis. Arjuna is not different from Vishaka Saki. This is the speciality. Understood why Arjuna was selected by Krishna for the battlefield of Kurukshetra, because Krishna expands to Radharani, Radharani to Lalita and Vishaka. They are the first expansions of Krishna. So Arjuna is not a normal person, in the sense normal devotee. He is such a close, such pure devotee or close associate of Krishna. Yeah, Vaikuntha where this four-armed form. That is actually Vaikuntha is four-armed, but in Parthasarathi, when he comes in Parthasarathi form, it's two-hand. Okay, but in universal form we have seen four-hand, then it comes to two-hand. So it's almost same. But yes, Vaikuntha plan it's always four-handed form. Okay. So here Bhishma Dev.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, like if we are attached to Krishna like as a loving father, then we don't go to Goloka.
Yeah, that's what Vaikuntha Valsalya Ras, no? That is Valsalya, no? Valsalya means either it can be like a son or fatherly or motherly feeling. So that is Goloka. That Rasa will be in Goloka.
Okay, Mataji, thank you. Mataji.
So now we may be in that form, but that our original Rasa, original Bhava will be developed only when we reach the Prema stage or Mahabhava stage, no? When we keep doing devotional service and go to pure Shuddha Bhakti, when we reach to pure devotional service, then the Bhava will come. Like for example, His Grace Indradas Prabhu, who started the 24 hours Kirtan in Vrindavan. At the end, no, he was in Mahabhava stage or Prema stage, and he knew he was a gopi in Goloka. And he also was getting mentally prepared to accept that form. Not everyone will, and he revealed it to somebody, some of the disciples and someone, his friends. That's how they came to know. So not every one of us can remember our Swarupa Lakshana, what is our Swarup or what is our Mukti is actually Swarupera Lakshana. So Mukti means what? To actually understand what my Swarupa is. We might be a grass in Vrindavan, we might be a cow in Vrindavan. That's also glorious. Because a grass can also speak in Vrindavan. They can also have rasas in Vrindavan. So we don't know our original position, what we are. But wherever it is, it's glorious. Even in Vaikuntha, no more coming back. But the rasa is different. That's why in Gaudiya Vaishnavas, we always have Radha Krishna worship. Because it's Goloka. And to go there, it's difficult. That's why we have what? What is the shortcut we have?
Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
No,
Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
No. Who's the shortcut through?
Gauranga.
Gauranga. Yes. No one else. That's why we have to chant the Panchatatva Mahamantra, and also we are worshipping Gauranga. So that in Goloka chart, if you see, there is the petals and the middle is Radha Krishna. On the side, you can see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates. It's an easy way, Shweta Devi. It's an easy way to reach Goloka. So, and that's why we have all Radha Krishna deities in all our ISKCON and Gaurnitais, so that it's very easy to connect to Goloka. And sometimes they say, no, I don't want to go to Vaikuntha, I want to go to Goloka. But we don't know whether we are actually eligible or qualified to reach there. So that's why, but then we try, we should have the desire. Prabhupada says only if you have a desire, you can go back. So yeah, so in the next sloka, as Mataji asked, next sloka, he says, may my Lord who's four-handed, he actually, Bhishma Dev is actually requesting for that. I want to see that forehand, whose beautifully decorated lotus face with eyes as red as the rising sun, smiling, kindly await me at that moment when I quit the material body. So actually, Bhishma Dev knew that Krishna is Narayan, and also his worshipable deity was a four-handed Narayan. So four-handed Narayan is also Prabhupada says the expansion of Krishna only. So indirectly, Bhishma Dev desired Krishna to see in the four-handed form Narayan. But Bhishma Dev is approaching the Vaikuntha Dham just after leaving the body, and a Vaishnava wants to see particular Krishna face to face, the Lord. So the four-handed form, and definitely it comes to the two-handed, because Parthasarathi cannot be in four-hand, it's two-hand. But original form in that Vaikuntha is the four-handed form. Okay, so here it is said, a pure devotee is never anxious to go back. But since he is about to leave the body, he wanted to see that particular form of the Lord at the time of his death. Why is Bhishma Dev so attached to that Parthasarathi form? Why not any other form?
Because all through battle he had seen Krishna in Parthasarathi form.
Yeah.
And he was
all
very much
through
attached.
18 days of the battlefield. And Bhishma Dev was seeing Krishna face to face. Arjuna was behind, no? Arjuna, so in that way, Bhishma Dev is more fortunate than Arjuna, because Bhishma Dev, 18 days he saw that particular form. So that's why we say, when you see for Mangalarti, Darshanarti, we should take darshan of the Lord. Just keep looking, keep looking. When you're chanting also, you can have a picture of Krishna. And recently, I was like when you go travel, it's better to have anybody have seen the closed form? Closed, like a book, it will be booklet. There's Radha and Krishna, and you can close it and take it as a book. Anybody have seen? It's like a small frame where you have Radha and Krishna photos, and you can open and keep it like this in your table, or you can close and take. Anybody have it or seen? No? It's very easy to travel with that. So we carry that. It is very nice. Normally it will have a frame, and it's very difficult if it might break, all that. But this is like a booklet. Especially this was Radha Madhav, I think. Yeah, it's from Mayapur. So we have it like this. It will be opened and kept, and when you can close it like a book frame, it will be, and you can travel and take. So why devotees do that is so that you would take darshan of Krishna every time. Just go and take darshan, nothing else. So in our temple also, in the altar, when you see, come out of the altar, there is a ring shape, round. Many temples has. So why basically that is devotees just go there and just stare at the Lord. So one devotee in a temple, she used to just chant this and standing there. Evening time, there might be evening, no much devotees crowd. So that time she'll just go stand there and chant. So one devotee said, why are you having moha bhakti to Krishna? I mean, why are you seeing Krishna in lusty form? But see, she is actually seeing Krishna, not any boys or something. They're not a material person. They're looking Krishna's beautiful form, and looking at Krishna's beautiful form, Prabhupada says you have to look. So that, see, Bhishma Deva saw that form and got attached to that form. Similarly, you all will have some favorite deity. Like some so attached to Lord Ram, some to Narasimha, some to Jagannath, some to Gauranga, some to Radha Krishna. In Radha Krishna also there are Vrindavan, Radha Shyam Sundar, Mayapur, Radha Madhav, Radha Govinda, many. So whichever deity you feel now personally you're connected to, that deity you keep on meditating on. In the sense, we should not artificially meditate, but just keep seeing. When you chant, you can see them. When you do anything, so then finally what happens, that impression comes to us, and we'll develop a desire to see them. At the end, we don't know, anything magic can happen, that particular, that how that Mataji got the Radha Shyam Sundar photo, for whom she have donated for that temple, and finally at the end, they came to save her. So some kind of and yes, wherever you go in Vrindavan, Radha Shyam Sundar, or in the sense Radharani in Vrindavan is the cutest. No, all of you agree? All over ISKCON, I never saw Radharani so pretty like her, because you know how that Radharani pose came. That's Prabhupada standing, and Yamuna Devi Dasi, who sang Govinda Madhipurisham, which is played all over the world during Darshanarati. Yamuna Devi Dasi Mataji, she made the draft, or she's the one who drew how the Radharani should look, and Prabhupada posed for it. Prabhupada is the one who actually posed and showed her how Radharani's hand should be and how cute she should be. And finally, the devotees, they got the Radha Shyam Sundar done. So it was very, very pretty, because that's Prabhupada's special. Prabhupada wanted, because, and also there were so many Radha Krishna temples in Vrindavan, all the Goswamis temples and all. Even Radha Shyam Sundar, another temple is also there. That's why Prabhupada wanted to change it as Krishna Balram temple, because it's near that Raman Reddy also. So that place. So so Bhishma Dev glorify Krishna. And Yudhishthira Maharaj, after hearing Bhishma Dev, spoke in that appealing tone and asked Bhishma Dev in the presence of all the rishis about the essential principles of various religious duties. So Krishna actually sent Bhishma Dev for what? Yudhishthira Maharaj for what? To get some inquiries, to ask some questions. Pariprashnena seva, to ask something. Krishna knows all the answer, but Krishna wanted Yudhishthira Maharaj to hear from Bhishma Dev, and now Yudhishthira Maharaj is asking those questions. So at Maharaj Yudhishthira's inquiry, Bhishma Dev first defined all the classifications of caste and orders of life in the terms of individual's qualification. Then he also told about the twofold divisions, that is counteraction by detachment and interaction by attachment. So Varnashrama Dharma was explained by Bhishma Dev. And Bhishma Dev explains everything, all the qualification, the 9 qualification of human beings, like not to be angry, not to lie, to equally distribute wealth, to forgive it, to beget children only by one's legitimate wife, to be pure in mind, hygienic, not to be inimical towards anyone, to be simple, to be supportive of the servants and subordinates, all these qualities. So Krishna, Prabhupada gives a great explanation. There is some 2-3 page purport, so please read that. It's about Varnashrama basically, and he says about Varnashrama, Sannyasa, all the orders has been said. And after that, after he explained the charity also, he explained the activities of a king and the prescribed duties, because Yudhishthira Maharaj should know what the duties of a king is. After speaking all that, he says a proper way of references to scriptures. Dharmartha kama moksham scha sahopayan yada mune nanakhyaneta sheshu Varnayam Ashatatvavit. Then Bhishma Dev described the occupational duties of different orders and status of life, citing instances from history, for he was himself very acquainted with the truth. So he was narrating from the scriptures, he was quoting scriptures also. And here Prabhupada says that incidents mentioned in Vedic literatures like Puranas, Mahabharata, Ramayana, they're all factual historical narrations. It's not just stories. And it took place sometime in the past, although not in any chronological order. Now, once we went for book distribution in a history college. So there was some Gita Jayanti or something. So many Gitas were sold. All students, they just took it and went. And there were teachers, it was very difficult to convince them. And especially social teachers, so history teachers. So we went and they were like, no, how can you say it's all fake? How can you say it's truth? And that this about Bhagavad Gita they were saying. And how much ever we tried to convince, they were not ready. Finally, one of my friends said, that was a social teacher or history teacher, and said, you are teaching about World War I, World War II, and French Revolution, and that and this, and so much we studied, no? So waste of time. So much for social studies. We mugged up and wrote essays and essays. And you believe all this happened? Somebody wrote in, did you see them? First World War, Second World War. You believe all that, and you teach also, and you have so much confidence that yes, this happened, and something happened 5,000 years ago. This happened long back, and also this is 5,000 years ago, and Krishna, Supreme Lord himself spoke, and you don't believe this. Then the teacher could not say anything, and she took the Bhagavad Gita finally. And definitely they became devotees also. They started coming to the temples. But just imagine, Krishna gives the Buddhi Yoga at that time for a devotee now to speak. But then they are not ready to accept his scriptures. Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, Vakya, Chitte De Kariyavita. So 3 things: Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra is very important. And all what happened in different planetary system, different universes, some descriptions are also mentioned. We are simply concerned with the instructive lessons in this instant, even though they are not in order by our limited range of understanding. So all the Leelas, if you see, there are some lessons to be learned. No, we can learn from Bhishma Dev, from Kunti Stuti. We can learn so many things. So we'll start. I wanted to start Bhishma Stuti today, so we'll start Bhishma Stuti. And the Bhishma Stuti is actually Bhishma Dev's prayers praising the Lord. And from 32 to 43, if you read the purports of these, you can reach level 1 Bhagavad Gita like anything, because all the unanswered question in Bhagavad Gita is all answered here. Prabhupada gives if you read this purport, it's as good as reading Bhagavad Gita, understanding Bhagavad Gita, to have a higher understanding. So 32 to 43, we start with Bhishma Stuti, Shri Bhishma Uvacha. There's a particular, I don't know which meter it is called, but there's a meter where we sing Bhishma Stuti. So we'll try to sing in that way in 32. Shri Bhishma Uvacha iti mati rupa kalpita vitrishna bhagavati satvata pungave vibhumni swasukamupakate vachit vihartum prakritimupeyushiyat bhava pravaha. So what is Bhishma saying? Let me now invest my thinking, willing, and feeling, which are so long to engage in different subject matters, in all-powerful Lord Shri Krishna. He is always self-satisfied, and sometimes, being the leader of the devotee, he enjoys transcendental pleasure by descending on the material world, although from him only the material world is created. So he is saying that let my manasa vacha karmana. What is the last prayer of Vishnu Sahasranam? Anybody knows?
कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि.
Yeah, so what is so glorious? It is saying that everything should be samarpana, or in the sense everything should be offered to Narayana. So in Bhishma Sudhi also, Bhishma Dev says that like let my everything be given to Krishna. Okay, so here it is saying that my thinking, willing, and feeling. Kayena vacha manasendriyarva buddhyatmana va prakrite swarupat karomi yattal sagalam parasmai Narayana samarpayami. So everything, kayena vacha manasa, everything let it be offered to Krishna. So thinking, willing, and feeling, it is done by whom? It is the
Living
function of
entity.
what?
Mind.
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 Manasa.
Thinking, willing, and feeling is done by the mind. So, Savai Mana Krishna Padarava, Manmana Pamat Bhakta, always our mind should be engaged in Krishna's service. So, he is saying that thinking, willing, and feeling, let it be engaged. So long it's been engaged in so many duties, but now let it be engaged in Sri Krishna. Because if we engage in Sri Krishna, then only we can get satisfaction. And Yatma Suprasi, the transcendental pleasure also will come only from them. And the world itself is created by the Lord, and that happiness comes from Krishna. So you can all mute yourself itself because it will overlap, but you try to sing. Okay. Shri Bhishma Uvacha Iti Mati Rupa Kalpita Vitrishta Bhagavati Satvata Pungave Vibhumi Swasukhamupakate Vachit Vihartam Prakriti Mubhiyushiyat Bhava Pravaha. So here in the puppet also, there's so many things mentioned, but here I have marked something. Here say pure devotees have no desire other than the service of the Lord. So here Bhishma Dev want pure devotional service, nothing else. Now, once Ramaneshwar Prabhu was saying now, what you can pray to Krishna is just give me pure devotional service, or please engage me in your service. Let me not forget you and always remember you. Now, Smartavyam Satatam Vishnu. Vismartavyam na jatu.
Vismartavyena jatu chit. Sarve
We should
vidhi
not forget
nishedaka.
Krishna. No, always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. And if that has to happen, Krishna only should allow it, no? Because Krishna's Maya is only tricking us. So sometimes we feel that Krishna, it's Maya is your energy, and why is she tricking us? Yes, Krishna is testing, Krishna is seeing how sincere we are. Actually, Maya is seeing she don't want any not sincere person to go near Krishna. So she's, but then it's Krishna's will. By Krishna's will, it happens. So we should pray. So here it is said that Bhishma Dev wanted to invest his power of thinking, willing, and feeling only to Krishna, nothing else. And Prabhupada mentions there that a pure devotee have nothing, but a pure devotees just have no other desire than service. Which is that sloka? That pure devotees have no other desire other than service.
Anyabhilashita Shunya.
Anyabhilashita Shunya. Pure devotees have no other desire, no? Anyabhilashita Shunya. Except to, and Samsiddhi Haritoshanam, the service, or they just want to please Krishna. So Bhishma Dev also had no other desire. He have, see, unless you have material desire, then you will not take birth again. So if you have material desires, you will take birth again. But desires cannot be wiped out like a stone. Only a stone can be desireless, but human beings we cannot. But we can purify the desires, no? So Krishna gives the instruction, that is Tadami Buddhi Yogam, how we can go. And Prabhupada mentions here about how Bhishma Dev wanted to think about Krishna, and the Lord also desires the association of pure devotees. See, why did Krishna go near Bhishma Dev? Because Krishna also desired the association of devotees. And for them only the Lord descended to the earth. Why did Krishna come after all? To do the pastimes with his devotees. Okay. So he is very, very, attached to his devotees that wherever his pure devotee is, Krishna will just be there. So he also wanted association of pure devotees. How pure devotees wanted association of Krishna? Krishna also wanted association of pure devotees. Just imagine now, Bhishma Dev is lying on the bed, and Krishna is also like going as an ordinary person along with Pandavas. He's the Supreme Lord, but he is there. No? So this whole Bhishma Stuti is happening, and Krishna is there itself. But then Krishna is enjoying it. Like Krishna likes to the stuti by a pure devotee. Other than when Indra, after the Govardhan Leela, when Indra went and prayed to Krishna, after the Brahma Vimohan Leela, Brahma went, Krishna was not so much looking. But when Narasimhadev heard Prahlad Maharaj's prayers, when Dhruv Maharaj could not even offer the prayers, then what did the Lord do? Because he was
Placed
5 years
the
old.
conch shell
He
on his
touched
head,
the,
Mataji.
placed
Placed the
Ah.
conch shell on his head.
Yeah, the conch shell was kept on the head, and then transcendental thoughts came, or in that sense, he could offer the prayers after that. But then Prahlad was also 5-year-old, no? But Prahlad offered prayers immediately. Both were 5-year-old. So there's a difference.
Because he heard in the
Heard the
Yes.
Bhagavatam when he was in mother's
The
womb.
womb itself. So Narad Muni is such a great soul that he became the spiritual master to a baby who's in the womb. Just imagine, no? In the womb itself of Kayadu, Prahlad Maharaj heard from Narad Muni, and Prahlad Maharaj could offer all that prayers to Narasimhadev. But Dhruva was not able to do that. Only after 5 years he heard from Suniti about the Lord. But he was also more fortunate, because in 6 months' time, and he could see the Lord face to face. Yes, Lakshmi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I have a question that both Dhruva Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj were taught by Narada Muni Maharaj. They were given initiated by Narada Muni, but still, why was Dhruva Maharaj could not offer the prayers like as
That's what
you
just
just
now
did?
we said, no, because he didn't hear it in the womb. Prahlad Maharaj heard it in the womb. That is the difference. I just answered the question. So that's the difference. So that means what? Whichever the baby in the womb also have developed consciousness, especially 7th month, 8th month, 9th month. When you chant, what happens? The baby will react, or the embryo, because the consciousness is developed. I still remember my sister-in-law was pregnant, and she was like 9th month. So there's the verse in the second canto, no? 31st chapter, something, the movement of the embryo in the womb, or the soul, how it develops, by Kapila Dev. He says then in first month it becomes pea size, then it becomes bigger, and the prayers of the soul, the baby is offering prayers to the Lord when he sees him. So that, and when I was just going on reading, she was next to me. They were not devotees, but then she was doing something. She had so much movement, the baby was moving, and she could feel that. Showed me when the Bhagavatam verses were just translation and verses, I was just reciting, and the baby really could understand it. In the sense, the consciousness was developing. So it's because Bhagavatam is transcendental, no? So just imagine Narad Muni recited the whole Bhagavatam, and whole Bhagavatam, and the baby in the womb could hear. So how fortunate was Prahlad Maharaj. In the womb itself, he got initiated by Narad Muni. But Dhruv Maharaj, till 5 years, he didn't have any association of Narad Muni. When the 5 years old, when he was about to go to the forest, that time Narad Muni came for few moments, and then gave him the mantra and initiated. But Prahlad Maharaj, the whole pregnancy time and all the time, Narad Muni was next to Kayadu. Even Kayadu was sleeping or something, but the baby in the womb was so fortunate to hear Bhagavatam. So here, so in the 32nd sloka, the first Bhishma Stuti, he says, let my thinking, willing and feeling be completely absorbed in Krishna. And he don't have any other desire except to serve Krishna. Tripuvana kamanam tamalavarnam Vivikara Gauravarambaram Dadhane Vapuralakakula Vridhananacham Vichaya Sakera Dirashtumi Anavatya. So Sri Krishna, he says, he's the intimate friend of Arjuna. And he has appeared on this earth in his transcendental body, which resembles the bluish color of the tamal tree, and his body attracts Tamala Varna, Tripuvana Kamalam, Tamala Varna, and he attracts everyone, the three planetary system, upper, middle, and lower. That is, upper is heavenly planet, middle is the earth, and lower is the hellish planet. And may his glittering yellow dress and his lotus feet covered with paintings of sandalwood pulp be the object of my attraction, and may I not desire fruitive results. So here you can see when he says Tamala Varnam, the bluish color, the body, this is actually the two-handed form. The Tamala Varnam and all, yellow dress, yes, the sandalwood. But then he also has a desire of seeing the four-handed form. Like Arjuna also has had a desire, no? When Arjuna wanted, first he wanted to show that, see the universal form. But later on he said, Krishna, show me the four-handed. Then he said, no, show me the real form. And then the two-handed form comes. So here, finally it is the two-handed form Krishna who expands to Narayan and all that. But here it is said, Krishna's body attracts everyone, like how Radharani, when she was in separation from Krishna, she used to embrace Tamal tree because it resembles Krishna's color. Even in ISKCON Vrindavan, there is a Tamal tree. Did anyone see inside the temple?
Yes,
Inside the
Mataji.
temple? Where is it? Opposite whom? Opposite the
Prabhupada
altar,
Samadhi,
no?
Mataji.
There only it's there. So just imagine the Tamal tree and inside the temple. And I think it's opposite Krishna Balram. Like when you see the altar itself, you can see, and people used to climb and take darshan. So that tree, all the construction people said, no, we should cut it. We should cut it because it's going to disturb the whole construction. Prabhupada's like, no, it's Tamal tree. It's not different from Krishna. So we should not cut it. And it's in Vrindavan Dham. In the Dham also, the trees are also Vaishnavas, it is said. Because of what papa will they become trees?
Aparadhas, Mataji.
What aparadha?
Being naked.
The body, because trees are
Exposing their body.
Yeah, for
Mataji,
exposing the body.
Exposing body.
Exposing the body. So here it is said, because who else in the Shastra have become trees like that?
Nalakubera, Mataji.
Nalakubera, Mataji.
Yes.
Manigriva and Nalakuvera.
Nalakuvera and Manigriva. So what would have happened to all the Bollywood and Hollywood cities? No, you can imagine what can happen there. No, so it's very important because exhibitionism, that's also one kind of a wrong thing actually. In Garuda Puran, actually all these things is given, like why somebody is having baldness, why somebody is having specs. There is a power decrease in the eyes. And does anyone know why there is a power decrease we have? Okay, as you age, there is all that's fine, but like somebody is born like that. No,
They might
why?
have seen wrong things. They might have seen wrong things. They might have
Yes.
interested in seeing wrong things.
What wrong things? Like there is some, it is mentioned. That sloka I'm searching for. Vajamahe Bhagavata Swarupam. What is that? Tamalavarnam Suhitavataram Tamadidevam Karunanidanam. Yes. Tamadidevam Karunanidanam. Tamadidevam Karunanidanam Tamalavarnam Suhiragaruram Apara Samsara Samudra Setum Bhajamahe Bhagavata Swarupam, something like that. So I think it's from Padma Puran. It shows, it talks about Krishna's form as the Tamala Varna, that form. Yeah. What was he saying just now? Forgot. What was he
The
saying?
eyes, Mataji, why do they wear specs?
Eyes. So I heard from a senior Vaishnava that he says in Garuda Puran it is mentioned, like some janmas, there might be and we don't know which janma, but some janma we were just walking, it seems, on the streets, and we saw, what did we see? We saw somebody hitting a Brahmana or hitting a cow or some kind of a Vaishnava aparats going on. Okay, and we saw that. And then we acted as if we didn't see. You understood? We didn't react for it, or in the sense, we didn't actually take any action around it. We just neglected that. Even after getting the eyes, we saw something which is very what is, we saw something which is not to be done, and this life, what Krishna did, cut some power from that particular eyes which saw the anartha and didn't react to it or something like that. Okay, so this is just one example of like that. There's so many things given in Garuda Puran, like why you suffer from this particular disease, because Purva Janma Kritam Papam Vyadi Rupeda Chaite, like Purva Janma, what we the sins we have done, that will come as what diseases. So here in Padma Puran it says Tamadi Devam Karunani Danam Tamalavarnam Suhitavataram Apara Samsara Samudra Setum Vajamahe Bhagavata Swarupam. Tamadi Devam, Krishna is Tama Adi Devam, like Tamal tree. Krishna is like ocean of mercy, Karuna Nidanam he is, and his color is like a tamal tree and appears in this world for welfare of all. And also Bhajamehe Bhagavata Swarupam, Krishna has appeared in the Bhagavatam very form himself. Okay, this also says about how the different parts are of Krishna is the different cantos of Bhagavata. Padavyadiyo Pratamaudiriyo. No, the first two cantos are the lotus feet. So this is a verse, and at the end it says Krishna is Tamalavarnam Suhitavataram. So here in Bhishma Sudhi also he says Krishna is in a form of a tamal tree, the color of a tamal tree. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was in separation from Krishna, he used to embrace tamal tree and hit his head, and he used to bleed and so much crying, because whenever he sees the tree, he remembers Krishna, because that's the color. Jayada Jayado Meka Shyama Komalango. Okay, so here Krishna, why did he come actually? To do his pastime, to give pleasure to the devotees. And here it is said that such beautiful bodily features can be seen nowhere, only for the Lord, because it's a transcendental body. And Arjuna and also he says, he's saying that Arjuna, Vijaya Sakhe Rati, Vijaya Sakhe is Arjuna, and he says that, oh, okay, you are the friend of Arjuna. So what is the point of indicating that here? Intimate friend. Because you can see here, Bhishmadev is saying how Krishna became a driver of Arjuna's chariot. Because the fight was going on between Arjuna and Bhishmadev, and Bhishmadev attraction was taken to the glittering dress of Krishna. And indirectly, he admired his Arjuna also for possessing the Lord as the friend, because Arjuna was a conqueror, because the Lord was his friend. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Parthodana. Tatra Sri Vijayo. There is victory. So Krishna was in Arjuna's side. So Bhishmadev is like, how fortunate Arjuna is that Krishna became his chariot driver, his best friend. And because of that, Arjuna was always a conqueror. That is one of the reasons, no, Rishikesha was in Arjuna's side. That's why Arjuna won the battle. And so the Bhishmadev addresses Krishna as Vijaya Sakhe, that is friend of Arjuna, because the Lord is pleased when he is addressed conjointly with his devotees. That's why when you call Nanda Nandan, Yashoda Nandan, even Gauranga, when you call Sachinandan, he is very happy. Jai Sachinandana Gaurahazi, he is very happy when you call him with his devotee's name. Rather than calling Krishna, he likes it. That's why Hare Krishna is also calling with devotees, because Hare is not different from Radharani, no? It's different, it's Radharani. But here, while Krishna was in the chariot of Arjuna, because the sun rays glittered the dress of the Lord, now such a brightness was coming, and was never forgotten by Bhishmadev. Okay, he relished that relation. What is the relation which Bhishmadev had? It was a chivalrous humor. Which rasa it is?
Veerya rasa, Mataji.
Yeah, it comes in which rasa? Primary or secondary?
Secondary, Mataji.
Secondary. Secondary rasa. See, only when you in primary rasa, that too in Valsalya, Madhurya and Sakya, can you go to Goloka. Even Shanta and Dasya also cannot go to Goloka. Okay. So because no Dasya rasa, everybody is Sakha only for Krishna. They might serve Krishna, but not as a Dasya, in a Sakha form. So these, so you should know which rasa we are in with Krishna. Because Bhishmadev had this kind of a rasa, which is a secondary, he could not go to that Vaikuntha planet there. So here it is said, we should not imitate the damsels of Vraja. Artificially, we should not jump to that particular rasa. That rasa will come. Okay, Lord, that rasa will come as we do devotional service, as we advance. The Krishna will Swayameva Spuratada. He will tell us which rasa we are in associated with the Lord. So a particular rasa, it is said out of the five primary rasas, some living entity will have a particular rasa with Krishna. And actually, it doesn't make much difference. But then for Goloka, these three, 2.5 rasas are special there. So Lord is pleased when he is addressed with his devotee, and Vidyasake, when he was called, he liked it so much. Even Parthasarathi, when you say, he's actually the Sarathi of Partha, who's Arjuna, and he likes it more when he's interested in that field. Okay, so yeah, here Bhishmadev, first sloka, Bhishmadev wanted to invest his thinking, willing and feeling in the Lord, and also Bhishmadev glorifies Krishna as Satvada Pungave, leader of devotees, and Vibhuvni. The Lord has all the power. And in the next sloka, Bhishmadev meditation upon Lord Krishna. Okay, we'll do 34 and we'll see the slide after 34. Because 33 and 34 is Bhishmadev concentrating on the form of the Lord. Yuti Turagaracho Vitumra Vishwa Kachalulita Shamavarya Lankritase Mama Nishita Sharira Vibhityamana Vachi Vilasa Kavachestu Krishna Atma. So on the battlefield where Sri Krishna attended Arjuna out of friendship, the flowing hair of Lord Krishna turned ashen due to the dust raised by the hooves of the horses. That's what I said. The hair which was turned to ash by the dust. Now, though much dust was there and the hair was full of ashes. And that form Bhishma they wanted to see. And because of his labor, no, he did so much work for his devotee, and there was a sweat wetted his face because he was Bhakta Valsala form. And all these decoration actually intensified by the wound dealt by the sharp arrows which Bhishma Dev have sent, and it was enjoyed by Krishna. And he is saying that let my mind go to Sri Krishna. In the purport also, Prabhupada mentions that yes, you can see the 5 principal rasa, Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Valsalya. So this is very important, and to know which rasa we are associated with Krishna to go in which form. But Bhishma Dev was in, actually he was in a relation of servitorship also, that is Dasya form also. And that sharp arrows was like soft roses, okay, given to him. The sharp arrows by a pure devotee like Bhishma Dev is as good as soft roses thrown to him, because that is the special rasa which, because the Lord's body is transcendental. Only when you have a material body you feel the pain of the arrows that is shot. Krishna's form is transcendental, Sachidananda. Where is that pain coming from? So, and that to a pure devotee throwing, it is like soft roses thrown to Krishna. And also, and so Bhishma Dev is repenting for the actions he have done, and but Lord's body will not pain, because Prabhupada says it's transcendental existence. Okay, his body is not made up of matter, and he's completely spiritual. And here, as we go down, we can see here that Krishna, yeah, so the example given is how a fiancé biting a someone's body, like it's out of love. So similarly, Bhishma Dev was also, the sharpened arrows was pleasing to the Lord. Okay, so it's never a thinking as a pain, it is actually pleasure. The fighting is an exchange of transcendental pleasure between the Lord and a pure devotee. Sometimes we might feel, no, actually Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, when Ravan, Kumbhakarna, all of them fought, it was actually kind of a rasa exchange between Narasimhadev and Hiranyakashipu and all, because they are Jaya Vijaya. When Lord want to fight also, there is an exchange of transcendental pleasure between the Lord and his devotees. So they came in an asura form, but there was a pleasure. The Lord was enjoying that like a pleasure. Like Narasimhadev did not kill Hiranyakashipu immediately. Like a cat sometimes doesn't kill a rat immediately. It makes the rat run around the house and then slowly it will catch. It's not that the cat could not catch immediately, but it can. But it's taking pleasure by running around. So the Lord also does that sometimes. And okay, so here the Lord was perfectly happy by the wound that was caused by Bhishma Dev. Okay, just imagine how the Lord takes the pleasure, no, by his devotees, the transcendental bliss. Once what happened when Krishna wants some buttermilk, what does the gopis do? Gopis say to Krishna to do something so that he can take buttermilk.
Dance.
They ask him to dance, Mataji.
Sing.
Yeah, but how do you know how many glass of buttermilk Krishna can get after dance? How do they know?
Palmful, Mataji.
Huh?
Little, very little. Very little, Mataji. A palmful of buttermilk.
No, they
Mataji,
give,
they
they
were
give, they give, but how many glasses or how much they have to give was the count was kept by some way. Okay, what they used to do is
cow
the
dung,
gopis,
Mataji.
yeah, cow dung.
Cow
They
dung.
keep, they take the cow dung and then make it balls and they stick on Krishna's face. Okay, so they Krishna dance for some time, for might be 5 minutes, and they stick one cow dung small ball in Krishna's face. Then that means one glass of the buttermilk should be given to Krishna. And again he'll dance again second, third. Like that, the face was full almost. Almost it was like more than 10 or something. This full. Then immediately when Gopi wanted to tease Krishna, so he said, immediately the Gopi said, "Oh, Yashodamaya is coming, now what to do?" So Krishna, when he heard Yashodamaya coming, and if Yashodamaya see Krishna with all this cow dung face, which she just decorated with sandalwood pulp and all and giving him bath, that she will definitely get angry. So what Krishna did, he cleaned the face because Yashodamaya should not see. And then immediately all the gopis started laughing because Yashodamaya was not coming. They simply teased Krishna. Now immediately after that, Krishna started checking all the balls have been gone. Now again, if he want buttermilk, again he has to start dancing. So Krishna's like, what about those balls? Where is it? It's all gone, no? So they just take pleasure by doing this, that they wanted to see Krishna dancing. Krishna could have just stolen the buttermilk, but Krishna also wanted to give pleasure to his devotee. Okay, so here it is said, even though Bhishmadev was wounded, that enjoyment, Krishna, the Lord enjoyed the wound created by a great devotee Bhishmadev, because Bhishmadev was in chivalrous relation, and Lord's body and Lord are identical. Okay, so here in 30 to 34, 33 and 34, it's actually about Krishna's body, bodily feature is mentioned. Okay, so if Krishna's body is as mentioned as Tamala Varnam, it is mentioned as the color, the end of the dhoti also it's been mentioned. And Krishna is described as Vijaya Saki because a friend of Arjuna, that's very significant. And Krishna is very happy. That is one of the reason why Arjuna was told Bhagavad Gita by Krishna. No? What are the reasons? 5 reasons why Arjuna was given the knowledge.
He was friend, soft-hearted,
Friend,
He was not
soft-hearted,
Dosi
Soft-hearted.
Sakachedi,
Non-envious, Mataji.
non-envious.
a surrendered soul.
surrendered soul.
He's
Then,
also the Sakhi also. He's a Sakhi.
okay,
Soft-hearted,
eternal
Surrendered soul. He
associate.
was a disciple also.
Soft and kind-hearted, very good.
Soft and
Soft
kind-hearted.
and kind-hearted he was. Okay, so non-envious, anasuyave, yes, and he was a bhaktosi sakachedi. He was a devotee. He was a friend, eternal associate, yes, Saki, and then non-envious, yes, and then soft and kind-hearted. That was also one of the main reason why Arjuna was selected. And so Vijaya Saki has been mentioned, and Krishna is very happy when he's addressed with his devotees. And the form which Bhishmadev relished was, yes, the Parthasarathi, but he also wanted to see that 4-handed form. And Lord Krishna relished the sharp arrows shot by the biting by a lover. Then because it's compared to the rose that is sent by a devotee, even though it was sharp arrows that was shot by Bhishmadev. Like Vidurani offered what to Krishna?
Banana.
banana peel.
Piece of
Banana.
piece of
Piece of
banana.
It was
banana.
banana peel which was offered. Just imagine, the peel was offered and Krishna accepted it. So Krishna is like that. Even the peel Krishna could accept it. So what is there in the peel now? Everyone rejects the peel. Even sometimes cows eat it. But the Lord himself, Lord accepted that peel because it was offered with love. So Lord Krishna is relishing that sharp arrow shot by Bhishmadev as an offering of love by his pure devotee. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also mentions the wound caused by Lord's body. The analogy that is given is the lover's bite. And Lord does everything good at all the time. And we'll stop with this verse. So in the 35th verse, he says, Sapati Saki Vacho Nishamyamate Nija Parayor Bhalayor Ratam Niveshya स्थितवती परसैनिकयुरक्ष्णा कृतवती पार्थ सखेरतिर्ममास्तु. See, in obedience to the command of his friend Lord Shri Krishna, entered the arena of battlefield of Kurukshetra between the soldiers of Arjuna and Duryodhana. And while there, he shortened the lifespan of the opposite party by his merciful glance. This was done simply by looking at the enemy. Let my mind be fixed upon that Krishna. So Krishna actually gave mercy to the Kauravas also, because they all got Sarubhya Mukti. Here it is said, by executing the order of a devotee, the Lord become pleased, as a father is pleased to carry out the order of a small child. You know how Krishna used to take direction when he was riding the chariot?
Yes,
Arjuna
Mataji.
used to
Arjuna
kick
used to
on that
stamp on
side,
his back
Mataji.
towards right and left.
Yeah, kicking. So just imagine Arjuna kicking on the Supreme Lord Krishna, but Krishna took it as out of love and compassion, or Krishna enjoyed it actually. So here, like a father, no, sometimes they will act as if they are less powerful. And today I was playing, I was about to close the door, Jagannath was opening the door. So I thought, okay, let him win. Anyway, he will not win. But I just loosened my hand, and when he opened the door and came in, he was so happy, and as if I, lost. And he's like, he became more powerful. So I was thinking how much happiness they feel when they do it. So here, Krishna being the supreme Lord, but he decreases his power for his devotee. How Krishna give the credit to his devotee. Krishna says, I've already killed them, you become an instrument. Nimitta matram bhavisa visachin. So executing the order of a devotee, the Lord is very pleased to do that. And here it is said, Krishna does everything for someone's good. Why? For Kauravas also it was good. Just by glancing, Krishna shortened their lifespan, and they all were taken back to Godhead. So Lord does not do anything wrong in any circumstances. In all circumstances, he is good. So here also said, Uddhava is fond of remembering the Lord after his departure. Okay, great devotee Uddhava soon came back from the abode of the Lord to the human plane, and wiping his eyes, he awakened his remnants of the past and spoke to Vidura in a pleasing mood. So that time, and Uddhava said, My dear Vidura, the son of the world, Lord Krishna, has set, and our house have been swallowed by the great snake of time. And what can I say to you about our welfare? So that time he says, Partasta. So there are certainly others who were fighters on the battlefield of Kurukshetra were purified by the onslaught of Arjuna's arrows. And while seeing the lotus like Krishna face to face, so pleasing to the eyes, they achieved the abode of the Lord. So they all went back. Just imagine, if they would have died in their house, what would have happened? They would never get moksha. But Krishna diminished the duration of life of the opposite party. But why was their duration diminished?
Because they offended the
Mataji,
chaste woman Draupadi.
because they had molested Draupadi.
Draupadi. So when a woman is offended, what happened? The all good fortune, even the lifespan decreases. So when they did that kind of a sin of Draupadi being disrobed, that's the sin which decreased their lifespan. But here also it's benefit for them, because mm, uh, their lifespan was decreased by Krishna himself, or in the presence of Krishna, their lifespan will decrease. Like when Srivas Thakur's Ang and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Kirtan was going on, Srivas Thakur's son left the body, no? So when in the next room. And when the Mahaprabhu came to know this, Srivas Thakur didn't inform Mahaprabhu, because Mahaprabhu's bhava should not get disturbed. But when Mahaprabhu came to know this, he called the soul of that son back. And the son said, my karma in this body is over. I'm going to another body. Now, whatever it is, I have, or I might even go back. Now, that's because you, Krishna himself, was in his house and Kirtan was going on, or in the presence of the Lord, the soul have left. What auspicious way of passing the body, or the soul departing. So the child was speaking in a way with transcendental knowledge. He was saying that when the Lord himself is present, it is very, very auspicious. So all the asuras in Vrindavan, all of them, they all were so fortunate, because to die with the hands of the Lord or in the presence of the Lord. And the Lord just glanced, looked at them, and they are, and they merciful glance, it is called. So Krishna's merciful glance, he can do creation also with the glance, he can also destroy with that glance. So here it is said that whatever Krishna does is for all good. Prabhupada add to it saying that what in any circumstances, whatever Krishna does is all good. He will never go wrong. Anything. So I'll stop with 35. Okay. So 36 to 42, we'll do it next class. No slokas, no, in this chapter?
No, Mataji.
No,
Only
Mataji.
chapter
No
13.
slokas.
19th, I'll complete chapter 9. 26th, can we have exam? Theory, 9th chapter.
Yes,
20.
Okay,
Seventh,
Mataji.
Ramanavami is when? 27?
27th,
Mataji,
Mataji.
27.
Oh,
27, no. So 26 we can have exam.
Okay, Mataji.
29th is Ekadashi again. Again, this Sunday is also Ekadashi. Okay. Yeah. Dinesh Prabhu, okay.